How does one quantify an experience of such magnitude that it questions all faith in humanity? How does one gather up the scraps of hope after witnessing such misery? Should the youth of today see and witness such despair and violence in human history, or should it be placed in the basement out of the way of youthful eyes? Does their witnessing of the events of the Holocaust serve any purpose? Located on 100 Raoul Wallenberg Place, the Washington, D.C. Holocaust Museum is an amazing building which puts on display the journey of the Jewish people from the election of Hitler in 1933 to their eventual liberation by Allied forces in 1945. Liberation means freedom, so their eventual freedom. The museum is constructed as if you are entering a modern version of a 1930s concentration camp and has information, research, and artifacts not seen elsewhere. The journey starts with a low-level disruption to Jewish life by Hitler's brown shirts, the SA, and shows the escalation of violence under the direction of the propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels and the SS leader Heinrich Himmler. The SS, or the Schutzstaffel, replaced the SA as a more professional and brutal organization after Hitler's election. It's like the upper force of the Nazis. Two parts of the tour stayed with me personally hours after leaving. Firstly, the refurbished remains of one of the trains used to deport interned Jews and other victims to the Nazi concentration and extermination camps. And secondly, 3 streams of video footage taken from American, British, and Russian forces as they freed the concentration camps as German soldiers retreated. So why visit? How could confronting such human torture and imprisonment aid students' educational experience? This question can be answered by the great Spanish philosopher George Santayana, who said, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." One would think that any level of knowledge of the Holocaust would inspire a desperate need from citizens and politicians alike to avoid such brutality. However, history shows us that since the Holocaust, brutality towards other human beings has not curbed. The former Yugoslavia and Rwanda indicates very clearly that we are still able to do terrible things to each other. Is all hope lost? Can anything positive be taken from this experience? Milgram continued to claim, "It may be that we are puppets controlled by the strings of society, but at least we are puppets with perception, with awareness, and perhaps our awareness is the first step to our liberation." Students can take from this disturbing experience and realization of their dramatic potential. This museum clearly demonstrates the dangers of remaining silent and what happens when authority stands unquestioned and unchallenged. TGS students were then asked to connect their experience of the Holocaust Museum with their own personal links to democracy and playing an active role in society. By making positive changes to the world around us and by holding our community and national leaders to account, maybe we can do our small part in reducing the human suffering on display at the Washington Holocaust Museum.